Hisham Neyaz is a senior development engineer at Tata Technologies, specializing in development and project governance. He has a strong background in engineering business management, is also a researcher in biomedical engineering at UPM, focusing on EEG signal processing and applying deep learning for artifact detection and mitigation. With a decade of active involvement in IEEE, Hisham has contributed across various leadership roles. He has been actively involved with the IEEE Malaysia section, IEEE YP Region 10, and IEEE MGA YP event funding. Currently, he serves as the governance lead for IEEE YP MGA and is a member of the advisory committee for IEEE YP Region 10, working on strategic initiatives, policy development, and professional development programs to enhance global engagement within the IEEE Young Professionals community. Welcome, Hisham.
Thank you very much, Anu, and thank you for inviting me in this meeting. And thanks for the previous speaker. I think he gives a lot of information, which is new to me as well. So I'll be sharing my screen, and I'll be going through little different sort of presentation. So this presentation might be a little bit different than others because I'll be talking about branding. So branding, we have the guidelines and everything quite defined, but I have separated this presentation into two sections or two chapters or two parts. So first part, I will be going through the branding itself, what is branding, and then in the second part regarding YP branding and all the guidelines given and what are the do's and requirements and what are the suggestions given from the from IEEE itself. So before going to the presentation, I want to ask a question. Do you still remember this? This is very old picture, but if you still remember this, and I believe you still remember this, this picture was released back in 2001. So I'm showing this after almost 25 years, and we still remember this. And if I go to the next slide, do you differentiate between these two things? Of course, you know what is this, but do you know the difference between this, or what do you feel once you see these two logos, Toyota and Lexus? Okay, so moving to the next slide. Do you know what is this? I mean, it's nothing written there, but do we are we able to know what is this? Okay, so I believe the answer will be yes. This is Windows XP wallpaper, and this is Toyota, and this is Lexus, which is the difference between them. Lexus is more premium kind of things, and Toyota is more predictive, sort of more reliable, and this is iPhone. So I did not put any words. How did you know that? So the simple answer is it's branding, because they already brand these kind of things where you see anywhere, you will recognize automatically without any single word written on that. And similar thing happening in every organization, every company, everywhere where companies is able to put that information in sort of picture elements, words as well. So this is actually the branding where you create a unique name or design or image for the organization, or in this case, for non-profit organization, which is IEEE, where the individual, when it sees that particular image or particular element, he will be able to relate what is that. So why branding is important? So once we are having the branding, for example, YP, there is a logo for YP, which is just behind this. It's a background of this slide. So once we see this one, we feel connected because we are all volunteering to this platform. So it differentiates this slide from other slides because of the branding, which is the logo. And then second point, which build some trust in ourselves. So once I see this slide or this logo or some elements which is designed for branding, I feel more connected, and I'll be able to trust more than without recognizing that particular brand. And then emotional connections as well. So a lot of time once we go to the shop, we try to buy something which we know. Sometimes it's slightly expensive, but we are buying that particular thing because we know this brand, or maybe we bought that particular product earlier. So that's why we are buying again. And why we are doing again? Because it's branding. So there are some elements of branding, which is I divided into four mainly, which is first like logos or colors. For example, Apple, it has a unique logo. YP, they have three colors, which is the line here down. So we have defined the color, the logos, even the text itself. So this is the first element of branding. Then second, it's very rare in YP, but it's kind of voice and message. Sometimes we see a tagline or we see some tone of voice. And if I play some anime or animation or cartoons, you will be able to recognize what is that because of the tone of that voice. That was sort of branding technique people use as well. And messages, of course, if I just show, just do it. So you will relate that particular word to the shoes or similar to that particular thing. And then consistency. Okay, once we are building some brand, we have to do something in consistency. So if I'm posting something on social media every month, so people are expecting that post to come monthly wise. But if I'm posting once and then disappearing for another 2 months and coming back after 3 months, then posting again, then coming next week, posting, there is no consistency. So people are just not waiting for that. And example of this, just take an example of Apple. They have conferences every September, and all of us, we are just very excited to see what is the new things happening there. So the consistency also, it's kind of elements in branding as well. And also building some kind of trust and loyalty, which we talked earlier. Once we are giving some quality to the not customer, to the volunteers, in this case, we are building also some trust and loyalty. And from there, we can apply all these things in YP or IEEE YP branding. So to track all these things, there are some mission and objective defined by IEEE and YP and Region 10. And we have defined all these guidelines and objectives to follow, to have this consistency in our branding. So from those, we have to focus on the objective, what we have defined for that particular year, or what IEEE defined on that. Then we have to review that process. Are we following that? Are we able to follow all the guidelines given by the team or by the leader or by YP chair? So we have to review that. Sometimes we are just we are not able to be on track. So reviewing in frequently, or maybe weekly basis or monthly basis, whatever frequency we defined is very, very important. And also adapting strategies. So sometimes we try to brand something, but there are some bad feedback or good feedback. So we have to consider that as well. It could be an improvement, and it could be also help us in gaining more loyalty and improving our branding. And also sometimes celebrating achievement if we are able to be on track and following all the guidelines given. And this is also one of the branding elements. And there are multiple points we have to ignore as well, which is sometimes we are getting comments on social media, and we are just not able to pay attention much to it. And that's also, I mean, not a proper thing, because feedback is very important. We are giving all this information or product or volunteer work to to the public, so we have to listen to them, what their feedback as well. Okay, and sometimes we are focusing on small things where we lose or we ignore the bigger picture, what our focus is. So we have to stick to that main objective and main mission, what we are trying to achieve. Small details is very important, but we have to stick to our main plan as well. And also setting a goal and timeline is very important. We have sometimes plans, but the issue is we are not able to meet the timeline. And sometimes timeline is very important, and setting a dateline for that particular activity or task is very important. As I mentioned, it relates back to consistency and how we should be able to be more consistent with our public. Okay, so again, why is very important because of visibility. So once we are having a branding, we are visible to people. Once we are participating in some events or participating in some conference, and we show our branding, so we are visible to other societies, other people who we are, and this is very important. And also in the posters, and sometimes we are sponsoring some events, and in that case we have to be also showing our branding. This is we are here, so basically we are trying to say, hey, we are here and this is YP. And then on this side we have a unique identity for our branding, and I will show you last slide how YP is able to preserve their identity. And this is also one of the main important point as well, which is branding is bringing up, and also engagement as well. Once I see in the social media, there are some posts with YP logos and YP lines, I would say, I will feel more engagement towards that IEEE. And then how we are going to keep up with YP branding. So there are guidelines given, and PDF or documentation has been uploaded in the website. And this is one of the examples how to use the logos. So to maintain the branding, we have to use the logos as the standard mention in the documentation, because if we are going to change something, then we are just changing the branding. And if I see, for example, if I see a YP logo in a red color, okay, I will not be able to recognize, hey, what is this? Red color is very new to me. Or if I see in a green color, not in the same tune, which is given by YP, then again, my mind will be, oh, this is not YP, which I know. So we have to stick to that guidelines given from YP and stick to it. And here it's given clear guidelines how to maintain that branding, how to use the logo itself, even without removing any element of it or adding any element or new element to it. Stretching the logos, making smaller, making IEEE smaller, that's not something good for branding, because it just it won't look the same. So people will be questioning, okay, is this the same or not? Then we are losing trust because it might be fake, right? And sometimes we see some brand which is copied, and second copy maybe, and we see the logo is not perfect. Then we see, oh, okay, this is not the original one. Similar thing applied here as well. And also given strict guidelines for the logos, how sections use, or how to add the location in our YP logos. It has to be in different color. So if you are designing a logo for society, it has to be in a green. If for region or section, it has to be in this color. And if you are just adding a location, then it has to be in a black and right side. And also these are the different logos which can be used in different location. Sometimes we are designing a poster in a black color, for example. So in black color, I cannot use this color. If I'm using that one, then I'm going to lose some details of these logos. For that reason, IEEE defined colors. So if I'm using in dark color, I can use white logo. I can use black and color. That's it. There is no logos that with a new color or some color which is fit my design, that is not acceptable by IEEE standard. And color specification as well. I think my slide acting weird. There is some picture here, but it's not showing. So there are defined color as well, which help us to define how to use that color. It's given in various codes. It's given in hexa, it gives in RGB, and it's given in printing technique as well. If you are going to print on a t-shirt or print on a book or something like that, so you can use that particular numbers. The image is here, but I'm not sure why it's not showing. Okay, yeah. So these are the colors given from IEEE. And last year we have done something. If you realize from last year, I believe, you see in the old posters, we are having this line with 3 colors. If you go to the social media, you will be able to see all these. And this is a part of branding. If I see these 3 lines, I'm sure this is from YP region 10. And then one more thing, once we are uploading things on social media, once we are uploading something on social media or a post, we are trying to connect a post together. And how we can do that, we can make it in a categories. So how we make it into categories, we can add tags. So if I add a tag, for example, webinar series 2025 branding. So if I keep adding post in this particular tags, so I'm basically collecting all these posts in a single tag, which help us to relate, to go through all these, able to see other posts as well. So we can use this technique also to put our post in some bigger pictures. For example, if we are doing some webinar on leadership or management, so we can use a proper tagging, which will help us to put our post, which is maybe a poster or just a text, in some category, which is maybe management or leadership or something like that. So when a person scrolling through leadership post, he will be able to see that particular post, which is from YP. And we can create a unique post as well, and unique tag as well. So for example, Club 2026, we can create one. So everyone in that particular events will be tagging to that particular tagline, and we will be able to connect or connect all the posts together. So this is very important. The importance is not how many of the tags we are using. The important is what is the quality of these tags, how we are building our brand, how we are building the database, I would say, by adding tags in our post. And then also in the social media, we are present, of course, in the social media as well. And last year we have also created this YP region R10 YP Connect, where we are present in 3 platforms basically, and also we are present in Discord, I believe, as well. But that was more for, I mean, in our area, especially where South Asia, I would say we are using more Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So there we are more active and posting all in all these social media is very important. For example, in Malaysia, we are using Facebook less than people using in India. So for example, if I ignore that because in Malaysia we are not using much, we are using maybe an Instagram more. So, but I'm losing some audience from India. So it's very important to be consistent on posting all in all the social media, including LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. And nowadays you can link to all of them together. So once you post, it will post in all the social media. But the thing is, some of them having different type of tags. For example, Facebook is a different way to tag. For LinkedIn, a different way to add taglines, and similar go for Instagram. So we have to pay attention to this. Sometime if you post directly from one platform to another, and the other platform, it will just go as a text. Yes, you are adding ad, tagging that particular person or adding hashtag, but the thing is, it goes just like text. So we have to pay attention to that part as well, to just ensure our post having a proper tag line and also hashtags. And so how I will be able to understand more about the guidelines. This is more for outreach team and designers, because I did work as a designer for many years. So I have to go through these resources and guidelines, and it explained to you how you should use all the details, how to use the logos, what are the padding you have to use, what a margin you should keep the logos. And this is very important also to follow. And this is for IEEE, how to use the IEEE guidelines. And the next slide, it's for YP. YP, in this website, you will be able to see for YP Region 10, for YP, Global YP, and sections also how you should use the logos and branding. Okay, hands-on. Okay, hands-on, basically, I want to show the website. So this is the website if you are interested to know. And as I mentioned, for designers, if you want to say if you want to see, for example, YP IEEE YP logos, then you will be able to download the HD YP logos in a different format. And from here, I know sometimes we are just taking from Google, but this is a proper way to download the logos. And it has a different formatting as well, and different color, different, I mean, designers will understand how important is this to have it. So we can download from here directly. Also other things, IEEE logos here, and also there is how to use logos. And this is a PDF file or presentation where explains every details. This is what we have explained earlier. And then we have the colors, all the numbers given here. Margin, given the margin also, it should not be, sometimes we are using a lot of logos, especially in some summit or some forums, we have to use a lot of logos. So we try to make it, we have to make it, but again, we have to follow the guidelines here. And also, as I mentioned, colors, if we add a black color on blue background, that will not be visible. So it's not okay to use this kind of logos. Also fonts, it's given to you which font should be used in the posters and the websites. And also for the websites, there are templates given in the website. Maybe we can go through that as well. Alternative font as well if required. If I want to print that logo on some gifts or goodies, how should I do that? So this is for YP, and Okay, and this is our social media website. Um, Again, as I mentioned, the consistency, I'm very happy actually to see the design, the line here coming, because I feel like, okay, this is YP Region 10. So this is our social media. If you haven't like, uh, you can follow us to see all these posts. And for some events, we are creating their own branding. For example, this is Clap 2025 last year. So we have created a unique theme or a unique branding for this. So all the text was in this format. Also, we decided to choose the color for these events. So entire the events we were using these particular colors. So that's also, we can say, sub branding. So for some events, we are having a different theme or different branding as well. But it shouldn't go away from IEEE, but we can make a like unique branding for that particular events. And this is our social media, Facebook as well. We are posting again here. And as I mentioned, there is no difference, but we are trying to engage more audience from different platforms. Some people they like Instagram more, some people like Facebook more. So we have to be present in multiple platforms as well. Okay, so changing logos. This is one thing also, again, I'll be back to consistency again. So in 2022, we were having this logo, which colorful. Then in 2024, we changed it to this color. Do you think we are going to change in 2026? Okay, the answer could be yes, could be no. But I mean, if we are going to change, um, if you see, the change is not the entire logo. We are changing few things only, which is the color only. So the branding of that logo is still the same, but we are just reforming few of the element, which is in this case the color, because of the theme of that event. And this kind of event, because we are changing the locations. So sometime this is not going the entire year. So we are doing every 2 years, every 1 year, it could be every 5 years, but we are changing the location. And based on that location, we are trying to deliver the theme or deliver the, again, branding for that. I think that's all for my presentation. Yeah.